This is going to be an actionable sales dashboard that will provide a KPI-driven performance review of your sales. It also has a lot of interactive features like you would expect in Power BI, such as drill downs, filters, and of course, even very cool tooltips, like you can see here. Tooltips that when we hover, see, we can see a breakdown of revenues for different groups that we have of our products. So this report is mainly for sales managers that are looking for a way to really clearly follow their company's performance. Hi, I'm Mattia from Zebra BI and I've been working in BI for over 10 years. I've also recently become an IBCS consultant. So what we focus on here mostly is you can see our revenues, our costs, gross profit, and our gross margin. These are our most important KPIs and we are showing them here with Zebra BI cards. We also get great contextual information for our numbers so we know if we're doing better or worse. Also, here on the right with Zebra BI charts, we get a great trend overview of our revenues, understanding exactly how our revenues were moving month through month. What you also get to use is dynamic comments. Dynamic comments are going to help your readers understand exactly what's going on month by month, and you can see that they're actually connected so you know exactly which data point what comments relate to. That's not all. On the landing page, we can also see we have a breakdown by our groups and by our products category. Also here, what we have is this others category. We're showing everything. We're showing 100% of our grouped products. However, because we can see that most of the revenues are being brought in by baby care, wearables, mobile, and audio, we are using the top end function here of our Zebra BI visual, so no docs, no complicated anything, just the top end function to only really show our biggest and most important product groups here, and then others we're still keeping here so we can see what they're doing, what's going on with them, but they're not the place where we want to put the most of our attention. And of course, for everything, you can see that we're always comparing ourselves to previous year or to our plan, so we know exactly how we're doing, and so we know which product categories are actually doing better, see, just like this, and then we also get our cool tooltips here back, but which are doing better and which are doing worse for every one of our KPIs, for every one of our months, and for every one of our groups or product categories. But that's not all. That's only the first page. Of course, you can find a lot of interesting things here, but where you can really find even more interest or more detailed information is on the other sheets. So maybe you'd like to be inspired on how to show your revenue by business units like this. Here you go, here you have a great breakdown with a cool table and also some visualizations, of course, for better understanding. And here again, a trend chart. Maybe we can go even further, maybe see our KPI breakdowns like this. Here you can see we have a table again with month to date, with year to date, and then our revenues, costs, and gross profit broken down in scaled visuals, which means that 3,590 is exactly this much, right, of all of these revenues. So you can get a visual understanding that, oh, we're making a lot more revenues than we have costs, and that means that our gross profit is also a little bit bigger. So there's a lot of things that you can find here in this awesome template. Don't forget that you can download it from the description below. This consolidated financial report is what you need to use to make high-level financial decisions. It is made specifically for CFOs, CEOs, and other financial analysts, as it offers a high-level overview of your financials for your group, but it also dives deep into details, so it's very useful for financial analysts as well. Why you need this report is because it consolidates all of your other subsidiaries into one report, and it uses these clear waterfall visualizations so you can see how much each of them contribute to your EBIT, EBITDA, and other financials. It will also highlight key performance drivers, just like Aussie cars here that you can see are doing very good because of the variances that are automatically calculated. So no need for complex DAX, no nothing, just like you're used to with Zebra BI, everything built in and made specifically to make your reports actionable. Using this kind of reporting, having all of your main KPIs right here, your EBITDA, your EBIT, net earnings, free cash flow, CAPEX, all here for you to make quick financial strategic decisions when you need to. So we have our most important KPIs here with Zebra BI cards, of course with the added context of being compared to previous year and plan. This way you're gonna know exactly where you're doing better, where you're doing worse. And just like with our business units, this dashboard gives us a clear, granular view of month to date, year to date, and of course our full year performance to see exactly how each unit contributes to your EBITDA growth. Below this, we have a dynamic trend chart visualizing your EBITDA trajectory, highlighting monthly fluctuations and key patterns. Compare your actuals against forecasts to track progress towards year-end targets in real time. There's no more guessing because you also have the full year projection right here in the end, always visible. So you're always prepared for what's ahead, months in advance. If we click on the other tabs, we also have here our KPI trends. And you can see that our KPI trends are here represented with Zebra BI charts, and what they are scaled to pixel perfection so you can understand what your net revenue actually means versus your EBITDA. Your net revenue is about 2 times higher than your EBITDA, and you don't even have to look at the number. You can visually see the difference, and you can definitely see the difference between your net revenue and your CAPEX as well. Then, going forward, showing you EBITDA by region, again, small multiples to understand exactly which regions are doing the best. Your Australia, your Asia regions really doing great, and then all of the others. Keeping in mind that you have to put most of your attentions to the ones that are actually making you the most money or have the biggest influence. That's why here, showing visually which ones you have to pay attention to. And then for the end, something like just an amazing grid chart like we see here, your operations contributions to EBIT with month to date or year to date calculations with just a single click, everything done inside of Power BI and waiting for you to take it as inspiration when you're building your next financial report. So if this example inspired you to track your financials just like we here at Zebra BI think you should, don't forget to go down into the description below and download this example. Next time when you do your next financial report, use it as inspiration and let us know how much it helped you. This daily sales report is the best way for any sales manager or executive to get a grips on how your sales is doing day by day. But not only day by day, you can cover it daily, weekly, and monthly in the same report. Let me show you what we got. Our main KPIs that we are focused on here are sales and quantity. Then, right next to them, you can see that we have some context to the numbers. How are we doing versus previous week? Well, 3.1k better. That's great. And here we also have a table showing us our daily sales, our weekly sales, and our monthly sales. We can see all of the data, everything here with added visualization so we get a better understanding of how we're doing. Then, with Zebra BI charts, we're showing you our sales by sales channel. You see that you have online, partners, retail, and business to business. But what the best thing here is, they are scaled between each other, which means that online is just about 2 times as big as our partners. And we can visually see that without even checking the numbers, right? And thankfully, almost all of them are green. Something's going on with retail though. Then we have our monthly sales in Zebra BI tables by the state. right? If you're in the United States, this would be perfect for you. You have it by state, but not all states. We know that America has a lot of states and it's very hard to get all of them into a small table like this. So you as an executive or a sales manager, you have to focus on your top 5. And it's easy to do this because you have here with Zebra BI a chance to do with the top 5 analysis, right? Or the top bottom end, like you see right here, with just a simple click. And you don't have to do it with docs, no real messing around with data, just a simple built-in function of Zebra BI tables. But still keep an eye on all the others as well, right? So we're keeping 100% of the data, but we're getting 80% of your time to the most important ones, right? The same thing here with monthly returns, so we can see why the product was returned to us, what happened. Then we can go into details, have a little bit more detailed view of sales, like this, so we can see exactly what the items we're selling, what audio video items, what camera photo items, right? And all of this with added interactivity from slicers and even something like this. See, different calculations. You want to see it for quantity? No problem. You want to see it for sales in euro? No problem again. Maybe you would like to see just a simple different product or different category. Maybe by state, maybe by store, or maybe by sales channel. No problem. You can do whatever you want. The interactivity at your fingertips. The same thing can happen here with returns. We have the same view here, but this now we are tracking returns. Again, in sales in euro or in quantity, depending on the look that you want. Then for sales trends. The sales trends here, again, you can see we have small multiples, so we can see for our online sales, our partners, our retail, and our B2B, exactly how they stack up between each other and which ones are doing better or worse, so we can get a trend line view of exactly what's going on with our sales channel. And that's it. If you guys liked what you see here, go down into the description below and download this PBIX example to be inspired the next time that you're going to be creating your own sales daily report. This is the profit and loss statement. It's an example that is the most downloaded of all of our examples, and you're going to be able to see why. This is the only way that you can really show financials in Power BI in a way that everyone will understand them. First, let's start here with this beautiful visualization of our P&L statement. You can see that for our actuals, we're using a special designed visualization called a calculation waterfall that shows us exactly how everything stacks up, how the flow of financials go in the P&L statement, so we can understand it. We understand that product revenues go up, that service and other revenues go up. This is then calculated into here, and then our costs, of course, bring it down until we get to another point, which is another result that we have. The cool things here is, of course, that we have our visualized P&L statement and our automatically calculated variances versus what we planned. But that's not all. You can also see we have here a couple of different columns in different colors. These are calculations that were added by the Zebra BI visualization. You can see here it says remove calculation. And the way that we were able to do this is inside of the visualization. So no docs needed, no complicated things, just a couple of clicks and you can get this awesome revenue, percent of revenue calculation added to your data. With simply here adding a quick calculation, you can see just pick something and everything is done. No docs, no complications, everything great. And here we have our gross margin percent. Again, a row calculation, again added here into this visualization simply by right clicking. Here you can see manage calculations again. And we can just add our calculations, we can add things so we understand our data better, so we can understand what's going on in the background or have initial insights that we need, for reporting Of course, our commenting is also here so that we can understand what impacted specific data points to be better or maybe do a little bit worse, like we can see here with our operating expenses, right? So there's a lot of logic that's going on here. There's a lot of things that are added right into the visualization that don't need to be added into your data model or with complicated DAX. But that's not all. Not only do we get this beautiful P&L statement, we also, with just a click of a button, can see that we have here our balance sheet as well. And you can see again the calculation waterfall, and that we then understand everything. The comments also changed because of course the same comments that are used for our P&L cannot be used for our balance sheet. And then our third one is the cash flow, where again the calculation waterfall comes back, but again the comments are different. Everything changes so that you can get a great understanding of not only your P&L but all of your financial statements, right? Not just your P&L but all of your financial statements. Then moving forward from here, what we can also do is we can go into details. We can see, this is where I was talking about, your financial team. Maybe you want to see how you're doing, what your P&L looks like with business units in mind. See, for mobile, for computers, for audio, for wearables. Again, same kind of visualization, but here we have it a little bit different. We have a calculation waterfall on our variances. And again, this is all automatically done, right? Simply here going up to more of our options, we can just choose. Maybe we would like to show this as numbers or have it like we did before with visualizations. Moving forward, maybe even something like a free cash flow, like a nice bridge chart that gives us all the information that we need. So all of the contributions that we have from our categories you can see right here, but then we also get this difference highlight here at the end that shows us what really happened from the beginning of period to the end of period, so there's no guesswork. You know exactly what's going on. In the end, let's show you the financial KPI summary again, where we have a nice little table, all of the interactivity here as well. So if we wanted month to date or year to date, just a simple click of a button. But here you can see we have our revenues down to our net cash flow, all in a pretty much simplified little table where we can track the most important KPIs. Don't forget, everybody, if you want to do your financials this way, and I think it's the only way to do your financials in Power BI, go down into the description below, download this example for Power BI, use it as an inspiration, and let us know how well or how much better everybody in your company understands financials from now on. This is how we at Zebra BI would do a sales funnel report. It's going to be a report that's going to consolidate all of your KPIs that you need to track your sales funnel on one page, so you can have all the information you need to understand your sales. And it's going to be great for, of course, your sales teams, your sales manager, or your executives to get a glimpse into how your sales are doing. We're going to start off here on the left with our one revenue, and we can track from our one revenue all the way down our pipeline towards our web sessions. Behind this, we also have a nice graphic showing us that we've actually turned the funnel around so that we can show our one revenue, which is our most important KPI, first. Then we also add some context to this number here by comparing it to our plan or our forecast. Moving to the right, we have our conversion rates, which of course have another graphic that shows how they're calculated or in which step they're calculated. We have our one revenue, our opportunity conversion, lead conversion, web to lead conversion, and additionally to our context, we also have a trend chart here, a line chart that is showing us how this KPI or rate has been moving throughout the months. Then for our top 15 customers, right here on the right, we have a beautiful data table where we still show 100% of the data. So we're still showing this altogether is 4.7 million in one revenue. However, we are focusing mostly on our top 15 customers as they are the ones that are bringing us the most money. You can see that we have others here as well, and this is simply done in Zebra BI with the top and bottom end function, so it doesn't require any DAX, any additional calculations, nothing. Just a couple of clicks and you can focus on a customer, let's say, that is bringing you 10 times the amount of revenue than all of the others after your first top 15. We also have here, of course, the context versus plan, so we can see if maybe we're really nourishing a customer better than we planned, or like in the case of our biggest one, if we need to actually nourish them a little bit more. For the end, we have our trend charts here right in the bottom that is showing us our development over time for our one revenue, so we can see in which months were we doing better, where we were doing worse. So of course we can go back and we can make decisions that will simply make every one of the months that follows go green. But that's not all. We also give you a couple of more options here. So if we go to home number 2, you can see that we have the same data, but they're shown a little bit differently. Here, you see we have a waterfall chart that is showing us how we got to our 4.7 million revenues. This part stays the same, but here we again, for our trends, have a little bit of a different showcase. You can see that we broke the axis here, so we can see the variances a little bit more, and this was done with just a simple click of a button. Then the home number 3 is where we get even more inspiration on how this could look like, right? And this is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be inspiration. It's supposed to be for you guys to, when you're doing your next sales funnel report. Today, I've shown you 5 amazing Power BI reports that you should start using for your business reporting immediately. To do that, go into the description of this video and download the PBIX files for each report completely for free. Thank you for watching, and we'll see all of you data wizards in our next video.